Start. Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Students, we have discussed unit number 2, that is does he remember, and now it's the book exercise, book page number 19, 20. We'll discuss that. Now book page number 19 will be done by the students themselves, because they'll read the chapter and then they'll place the correct words in the blanks. Now on book page number 20 we are going to discuss punctuations. Now first of all we have to discuss what are punctuations, why are they important, and why do we use them. So punctuation marks are important while writing. Why is it important? Let me give you an example. If we discuss something with a person, they can see our face, they can see our expression, they know when to start, what are we saying, and where do we end. At that time, while speaking, we don't need these things. But these punctuation marks are important while writing. Why? Because when somebody is reading, how would they know what are the feelings and emotions behind it? So punctuation marks are important because it shows where the sentence starts, where does it finish, and if use them properly, it makes the meaning clear. Now let's first discuss what are the punctuation marks. Now the very first and important one is capital letters. Now where do we use capital letters? We use capital letters at the beginning of the sentence and whenever we write proper noun, something which is special. It can be a person, place, animal, or a thing. So whenever we start a sentence, we use capital letters and in the proper noun. Suppose if we are talking about, we begin the sentence, we'll write with the capital letter, and in proper noun, if you're talking about Ali, so Ali will be written with the capital A. You cannot write it with the small letter. Now we'll discuss that why these signs and symbols are important. The second one is full stop. The mark is just a small dot. This small dot means that if you place it at a correct place, it means the sentence ends over here. Now a person will start another sentence, and another sentence will again start with the capital letter. Now question mark is important. This is the mark you can see and you all are aware of it. What is question mark? Is used for asking the question. Question, all those questions with starts with W and H are question mark questions, and we use them for asking something, interrogative. Exclamation mark is this. You can see the sign. I've written that punctuations are actually the sign and symbol. So the exclamation symbol is this. It's a line and a dot under it, and it shows sudden feelings and emotions. Sudden feeling and emotion, as we say hurrah, we won the match. So hurrah, we'll place an exclamation mark because it shows our excitement. Comma is used, you can see this symbol, for a short pause. If I say Arman, do one thing. Now after Arman, I took a short pause. So I'll place comma, Arman, comma, do one thing. Now this is when you are continuing the sentence but you take a short pause in it, so you place comma over there. Number 6 is apostrophe. We put this small, a type of comma above the S is called apostrophe. This apostrophe shows belonging. If I say, whose book is this? Whose? I'm asking it belongs to whom? Then it shows contraction. We have discussed contraction before as well in the previous videos, that if a word is cannot and you want to make it short and it's become can't, you remove some of the alphabets from it and you make it short. Cannot becomes can't, so that is a contraction. Contraction, you make the word short. Hyphen is a small dash and it is usually used in compound adjectives. Now compound adjective is when you combine two adjectives together and you put a small dash between. Now well is also an adjective and behave is also an adjective, because all of these are qualities. So when you say that this boy is a very well behaved, so well behaved will be written with the hyphen with a small dash in it. Father-in-law is the another example of it. Now inverted commas. Inverted commas are used when you repeat the exact words said by someone. It can be a saying of the famous people. The quotations are written in the inverted commas, so we use them over there. Now number 9 is colon. These are just two small dots, and you must have noticed whenever we introduce a topic, suppose an example I've written noun, 2 dots, what is it? It's a naming word. So we are introducing noun, and we use them when we mention the time. So 8 a.m. there are 2 small dots in it, which is colon, and it shows time. Number 10 is dash, and it is also used when we write about date and time mentioned, especially in history part when we talk about the country's history, the people history. So if we want to write the date, it will be 1988 to 2002, and time is that 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So let's discuss book page number 20. Students, let's discuss book page number 20, the book exercise which is given, punctuation. Now it says, without looking at the story, copy the passage below but put it in the correct punctuation marks as you do so. When you have finished, read what you have written to see if it all makes good sense. Now in the book it's given in a short paragraph, but I have written them in a sentence form so that it is clear to you people. Now as we have discussed that where to use capital letters, commas, apostrophes and question marks, let's discuss them in detail. At the beginning of the sentence you can see it's written small c, so the very first thing that will make the C capital, because we are starting the sentence. So if we are starting a sentence, we'll start it with the capital letter. As these words are said by Mike and we are repeating the exact words said by Mike, so we'll write them in the inverted commas. It says, can you be sure? Now he is asking. Who is asking? Nabil is, Mike is asking. So if it is a question, so we placed question mark and we have closed the sentence in inverted commas because we are repeating the exact words said, asked by whom? By Mike. So Mike is a proper noun and we will write Mike with a capital letter. Then we place a full stop because the sentence ends over here. Now as the sentence end over here, we'll write sure with capital S, again with the inverted commas open, because now Nabil is asking something. Sure of what? Now it's an interrogative sentence. He's asking, we placed a question mark, we close the inverted commas, and it is asked by whom? By Nabil. Now Mike and Nabil are both proper nouns, so we'll write Nabil again with the capital N and we'll place a full stop because the sentence ends over here. Now next sentence starts again with the capital T, inverted commas open, that he is asleep, question mark. You can hear him snoring, can't you? Now you can hear him snoring, comma, because the sentence is not yet finished. We are taking a small pause, that you can hear him snoring, can't you? So after a short pause, we will place comma over there for a short pause, and can't you. Now over here we are using apostrophe and we make cannot short form, and it is short, but over here the use of apostrophe is here. So it should be clear to the student that when I said we use them in contraction, so this is the contraction. Cannot is made short and we are placing apostrophe, it becomes can't you. He is asking, question mark, inverted commas close. No, capital N, inverted commas open. No shows the feelings, the emotions. No, it is something of a denial. So whispered Mike. Now Mike is whispering. So no, as we are starting the sentence, N will be capital, inverted commas open. We see the denial. the person is denying. So no, no, both of them will be written with the exclamation mark. Whispered Mike, again Mike, M will be capital, will place full stop at the end. Next sentence start, are you sure? Now R will be written with the capital A, inverted commas open. He does not remember me. This is the conversation we have read in the book while explaining the chapter, and these are the exact words, but students have to understand these things. And I always repeat the same thing again and again in all the grammar videos, that it's not necessary that the same paragraph or the same thing will be given in the test or in the exam. This is done just to make the concept clear, and you can be given any type of question to ask you and to explain about punctuation marks. I hope I have cleared the punctuations, and let's proceed to the next topic, and that is about verbs and adverbs. Okay, now book page number 20, question number 2 is about verbs and adverbs. It says make a list of verbs and adverbs in the following passage. We have discussed verb and adverb in the previous videos, so you are aware of it, that verb is a word that shows action, and adverb is a word that tells you more about verb. So the paragraph is there, and we just have to underline. I have already picked out the verbs and adverbs. We'll just discuss them to make the concept clear once again. When they came out of the church, they gazed wonderingly at the sword round the stone. They found these beautifully written letters of gold. Who pulls out this sword from this stone will be king of all Britain. All the men tried hard to pull out the sword, but no one could move it all. Now we can see that when they came is an action, so it's a verb. Out of the church. Now out is telling you actually the adverb of place. It is telling you that where the action took place. Where did it took place? It took place at the out of the church. They gazed. Now gazed is also a verb. Wonderingly. Wonderingly is telling you that I always tell the student that with most of the verbs or action, if there is ly with it, it becomes adverb. So wonderingly becomes adverb. At the sword, round. Now round is also telling you that how. It is adverb of manner. How it was, that the stone was round in shape. So round is telling you that it is adverb. The stone they found again is a verb. These beautifully is adverb, written is verb, letters of gold. Who pulls out? Now pulls out, pull is action and out is adverb. This sword from this stone will be king of all Britain. All the men tried. Now tried again is a action. Hard is adverb. To pull out, again out is adverb. Sword, but no one could move it all. Now move is again verb. Now all the words are written there, but it would be better if the students could do by themselves. Now the next question is about to find interesting verbs and adverbs from the chapter. This will be done by the students because already one question has been done for them, and the next will be done by the student themselves. Let's see how much the concept is clear. Thank you so much for paying attention. Allah Hafiz.